Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here at the Sahara, which is really a classic property here in Las Vegas. And the Sahara is celebrating 70 years. Now, as I'll tell you before, the Sahara was the first property I ever went to in Las Vegas. I'm here with Paul Hobson, who is the general manager. And we're going to talk to him about the property as it is now, a little bit of the history of it, and a lot more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Paul, first of all, I'm sorry, my voice is raspy. I've been in too many conferences here in Las Vegas. I wore it out, but I'm going to let you talk most of the time here. Now, tell us a little bit about the history of this amazing property, because this is literally one of the last original properties, although you wouldn't know it because it's been redone so many times.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, we're celebrating our 70th year right now. It was opened October 7th, 1952. And a lot of the original elements
back in the Rat Pack days, right?
Well, I mean, it actually was probably a little bit before what people would identify as the Rat Pack days. I think that Ocean's 11, which was sort of a seminal, moment in there, was filmed at like 60, 64.
Yeah, that's right. That was late in the game.
Yeah, so Las Vegas developed around this property in a lot of ways. We were, one of the OGs of the Strip. And what's interesting about our property, just sort of the cycle of developments left a lot of the original features intact, and there's still, you can
still find some of the original from way back.
Exactly. We sort of developed around pieces, and they might be obscured, but we have a real claim to that authenticity, of an era that is kind of romantic.
And you went back to. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but you went back to the original name a few years ago, Sahara. Briefly, you were in SLS. I think it was back when.
2014, I think the property was reopened after it closed for remodeling and reopened as SLS, and that was pretty nightlife heavy concept and brand. Didn't really resonate in that era of Las Vegas. Never really got a whole lot of traction, and that's kind of lucky for me because it gave the opportunity for Mr. Morello to come in and buy the property and reestablish the Sahara brand on the Strip.
It's amazing because there are really so many brands that we've lost. I think the Tropicana is about one of the only ones I know. Flamingo's there, but it's gone through so many different changes. Obviously, Sands is long gone. Rio, all these wonderful properties that we all knew on the Strip, the Desert Inn, things like that, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of how Las Vegas has evolved over time to sort of, scrape what was there and establish something new. We think a point of differentiation for us is that we do have that heritage and history, which sort of gives us a claim to the entire compendium and continuum of Las Vegas development. So for us to reestablish and sort of prepare Sahara for the future and the next era has been super exciting.
As I said at the beginning, you were the first property that I ever went to. I went to a conference here back in the early 90s. It was the Sahara then, and it has changed for the better. I mean, you've got some great venues here. Let's talk about the accommodations. I know there's a big difference from back then.
Yeah, we when we first got here, and I can only speak to that. We found that the some of the room product was in need of sort of updating. And when I say updating, when SLS was here, they were going for something really specific, and it wasn't a product that was necessarily for everybody. And we wanted to appeal to a broader audience. So we took some of that industrial design and sort of hard surface elements out of the hotel tower that we now call the Blanca Tower. It has about 200 rooms, and it was the original Sahara Tower. And we were able to go through that and really sort of make it much more plush, much more soft, much more light, much more comfortable. And that's our base room product now. And
it's very good base room product. I got to tell you, it's very comfortable.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And that's what we hear from our guests. We got into our bigger tower, which was one that was developed in the late 80s, early 90s. That is called our Mara Tower. That has about 1,100 of our 1,600 rooms in it. And we're on the last phase of remodeling the final couple of hundred rooms in that tower, which is upgraded room product that, because we have a little bit bigger footprint to work with there, we're able to incorporate a few more features and make it that much more rich.
Well, I'll come back. I'll stay in that tower too, just to make a comparison.
You're invited, James. We'd love to have you.
It'd be great, because I did see it when it was briefly the SLS. I've been here, but the original time I came here was for a conference back in, I hate to tell you, maybe 95, I think.
Oh, really?
That was
really
early on in Sahara's history. Yeah.
Well, so that was one of the things I could say about SLS too, is they took that product as it existed in the early 2000s, and the property of Sahara had sort of evolved to a more value-centric brand, and they sort of reestablished, this is a lifestyle brand, and it was a little bit of a palate cleanser, and it gave us the space to introduce Sahara as something that's a little bit more boutique, a little bit more elegant, a little bit more upscale, and it's all in a footprint that's very human-sized. If you were at Mandalay Bay and you happen to South Park, you might have a half a mile walk to the hotel registration, and from registration you might have a quarter-mile walk to the elevators, and from the point you get off the elevators, you might have another eighth of a mile to your room. So in that journey, you've traveled a long ways. But
you don't have to tell me about that. I just came from another property where every time I had to go back to my room, let's just say I put in my steps.
You had to plan your trip, right? So here, you can get out of your car in valet, and it's just a few steps to registration. And you can turn around from registration, you're a few steps from the elevators. And you get off the elevator, you're a few steps from your rooms. And then when you're ready to come down, to the casino, from the elevator to the casino is just a few steps as well. So it's really kind of at a scale that's more human-sized, and a little bit more comfortable, and allows us to be more personal with what we're providing our guests.
And I think you've succeeded there, absolutely. Now let's talk about the dining here. You've definitely you have new restaurants and all kinds. In fact, I think one just opened up last night, if I recall.
Oh man, we had our grand opening of Bala Italian Soul, a concept that we did with James Beard Award-winning chef Sean McLean.
Oh, I know Sean. Yeah.
A lot of people in Las Vegas know Sean because he's had some very noteworthy restaurants, in the city. One of them in particular really resonated with both, people that visit here and live here. It was called Sage, and it was.
I was at Sage at the opening at the city center that all opened.
Right. So that was at Aria, and it didn't reopen after the pandemic with all the things that were going on around in that era, and it made Sean available, for us to do a concept with. And it took us a little bit longer to put it together than we would have expected, but it was definitely worth the wait. What he has put forward with the product that we have right now in this Italian restaurant is just remarkable, and everything that we're hearing from people that have had that dining experience, they're just blown away. It's a home run.
It doesn't surprise me. I met him once. He's a great guy. I saw a different kind of Sage. It was a different kind of restaurant, but clearly I'm sure you're happy to have him.
Oh, we are. And, it's a great compliment to Bizarre Meats by Jose Andres. That was here when we got here, and Jose owns that brand. And when he got, sort of the news of what Mr. Morello wanted to do with the property, he wanted to be a part of that as well. So that established us in that community, right, and gives us a little bit of credibility. And that restaurant stands as one of the best in the world. I mean, it's really remarkable.
I've been to other of his restaurants, Jose Andres, and amazing chef all over the place.
Well, and if you're looking for more, sort of casual concepts, we also introduced a sports bar and grill pub called Chickies and Pete's. And Chickies and Pete's was named the best sports bar in North America by ESPN. They're a Philadelphia brand, and this is their first journey to the West. And so we've had a great time with them. It's been open about a year. It also serves as our sports book. They have a lot of seafood on the menu. They build themselves as a crab house as well. So a really eclectic bar food menu that includes things like lobster rolls and
I love that,
and seafood sautés and that type of thing. But it also has has your what you'd expect to find with chicken wings and their world famous crab fries. Philadelphia sports teams have had a great run over this year, so the people that are
until the last World Series, but
but they made it to the World Series.
To the World Series,
right? That doesn't happen every year. So we had a lot of enthusiasm from their fans in the market, and the Eagles are doing great. So
true.
but we've really become known in that venue is if there's a sporting event going on, this is the place to
you get great food and watch the sports.
Absolutely, you can bet them there too.
Now let's talk about maybe some of the other things that new at Sahara. How about your entertainment and shows and things?
Well, the cornerstone of our entertainment is a partnership that we have with Channing Tatum and Magic Mike Live. Right. That's the live production that's based on the theatrical releases that he has in that category, but we're excited that they are soon to release a third Magic Mike movie, and that will be coming out in February, I think on Valentine's Day of 23. So there will be a lot of hype and marketing around that, but the live show does great for us. We do 10 shows a week in a very cozy theater that seats 450 on most nights, mostly women. And
I think I'll go to that show, but I'm gonna wait till my girlfriend shows up at the same time.
Well, they make a joke. They say if a guy takes his girl to this show, it's usually worth it.
Yes, I could believe, but I think I'll have to wait. She didn't come with me this time. Too bad. Next time. Now, so that's your cornerstone for your entertainment.
It is, and if you look for a connection there to our history and our roots, a director named Steven Soderbergh remade the Ocean's 11 movie and rebooted that franchise. Steven Soderbergh was also the director of the first Magic Mike movie.
Okay, I knew that.
And he's also doing the third movie. He's coming back to do the third movie with Channing. Oh, wow. So we have we have a claim to a thread of history there too.
There you go. A lot of connections there. Now you got. I know. When I came back here last time, you had all new, lots of new pools, things going on outside too.
Mm-hmm. So we
also rooftop, right?
Oh yeah, man. We have 3 pools. 2 of them are rooftop pools, but our main pool is on the ground level, and it's called the Zillow Ultra Pool, and it has all the features that you'd expect in a new and modern Las Vegas pool, which includes, of course, entertainment and performance areas, for DJs and bands. It has, luxury cabanas with their own pools in front of them. It has ultra luxury cabanas that has a direct view of, whatever performer is on stage. Most days it functions as our main resort pool, but it allows us the opportunity to throw parties and
side parties, nothing like them, right?
Absolutely, and a lot of corporate buyouts. The centerpiece of the whole pool is a giant screen that covers the whole backside of it. It's 240 feet long, 60 feet tall. And it gives us the opportunity, like if we were hosting a party for Mercedes-Benz, we could put up their logo and their new models. If we were having a DJ on stage, that screen would become atmosphere for their show. If we're it's a NCAA tournament and March Madness, we put every game up on that screen and have sports viewing and betting out there. So it's really a highly functional space for us that has a lot of utility for different situations. But what guests will find when they visit here is a really well appointed space that will definitely take care of what they want to do at a pool.
You have an all new Sahara now.
Yeah, I think that all the public areas, all the spaces that somebody would see and recognize if they were here 4 years ago, they would have all been touched. Everything remodeled, refreshed, updated. We've created a lot of really fun and interesting spaces that that you can find for whatever need that you're looking for. I think we have we have the right space for you, from our meeting rooms to this room that we're sitting in right now,
which is very cozy for a casino resort.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just adjacent to our casino bar, so you could host a small party in this space as well.
Now, what's your background?
Well, I've been working, in casino resorts for most of my life. I said I lived in Lake Tahoe. That was the first place that I came into the business, and I had actually graduated from college with a degree in finance. Okay. And I thought I was going to be a stock trader or something, but
you've gone to a different direction, I think.
Well, if that opportunity would have been there for me, I might have. But at that point in time, I was looking for industry that was needed help managing their cash. And I found casinos. It wasn't a big industry at the time. I think Nevada and Atlantic City, New Jersey, were the only legal operating casinos in the country. And so I sort of grew with the industry. And I found my way to Las Vegas, and I've been here, 20 plus years, and
want to leave. There you go.
Don't want to leave, man.
Now you're overseeing a very classic property with a classic name.
It's been a real honor and a pleasure to be a steward of it for this brief period of time.
Now you've had a big party celebrating 70 years. What else are you going to do for this 70th anniversary?
We ran promotions all the way through October, and we're going to continue that through the year. Things that key on the aspect of it being 70. So I talked about Bazaar Meats. We have a $70 chef's tasting menu there. Great value for what you'd experience, in that room. We're running a promotion through our Players Club where if you enroll, if you happen to lose $70 at the slots, we'll rebate that to you.
That's a pretty good promo. I only lose, so I better be careful.
Well, some people win, James.
I hope so.
Not everybody gets to take advantage of that, but if that is your experience, we'll give it back to you in free play.
You have to give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. You should.
Yeah. Anything else you want to tell? We go out to about 110,000 travel advisors out in the market. Anything else you want to tell them about Sahara at 70, the classic property that is brand new, essentially?
Yes, I think that you summed it up very nicely. I think that one thing I would want everybody to understand is that the accessibility here is great. Your ability to get in and out of this property relative to something that is center strip, much more streamlined, much less friction getting in and out of here. We also have a direct connection to the monorail, and the monorail runs. That's
right. It is right across. I saw that.
We're the stop. We're the last stop on the north end. MGM is the last stop on the south end. If you wanted to get from here to there, it's 7 minutes.
I've done that before when I was going to a conference at the Las Vegas Convention Center, so it is very convenient.
A lot of people find utility in that, and it's just easy to it's easy to go down there and see what you want to see, but then get out of it and get back here just very simply.
Absolutely. Now, if travel advisors want to go out to find more information, I assume you're going to refer us to your website, which is
SaharaLasVegas.com.
That's easy.
Very simple.
Well, congratulations on Mandy. How long have you been here at this property?
Mr. Morello took over in April of 2018, and I've been with him, since then.
Great. Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations on this 70th anniversary. And you've already given me some good ideas for dinner. I don't know where to go at this point, but it looks good.
Let's go check it out, James.
Absolutely. All right. And I'll come back again, and we'll try that other tower.
Thank you so much.
I am James Shillinglaw at the Sahara, Las Vegas, and this is Insider Travel Report.